Okay, so it's late now. I just got off of work. I just took a shower. The kids are down to sleep. I saw today that there is a brand new trailer for Final Fantasy XVI, and I've been waiting all day so that I could get home and react to it with all of y'all. I'm really excited. I'm really pumped to just talk about everything that we see here in this trailer. And yeah, without further ado, we're just going to go ahead and watch it now.
It has been 1,500 years since the fall of our forebears.
Ooh.
And Valisthea has been slowly dying.
Valisthea.
Ever since.
Is that Clive? The boy? The man? Let's go.
Not much further now.
But we're in the middle of the Deadlands.
The blight sucked this place dry. Meaning no trees, no birds, and no magic.
It's so bleak.
Darkness spreads as day gives way to twilight.
The
mother's
prelude in the
flame
background.
now all but a flicker.
We cannot live without the blessing of the crystals. And the crystals work their magic through us. You have been blessed, Joshua.
But who shall claim their fading light? The Grand Duchy of Rosaria, bastion of tradition.
At the very least, we must secure Drake's breath.
The Holy Empire of Sanbreque, where ambition is divine.
I just played a lot of Triangle
Banners
Strategy
fly
or
over
Triangle
every
Strategy,
city in storm.
so I'm
All
loving this
shall
direction.
bow before their emperor.
The Dalmekian Republic, whose fortunes shift with the desert sands.
And what of our wise rulers? Goaded into war without any thought as to what chaos it might reap.
Chaos.
Iron Kingdom forged in faith and fear.
Their souls were sullied with the stain of
Oh.
ether. I merely cleansed them of their corruption.
Or the Kingdom of Waloed, indomitable in its isolation.
The dark swallows more of the realm with each passing day. And as the fringes fade, the people flock to the mother crystals.
Wait,
From
was
a
that
single
Clive?
Spark,
Kind of
will
looked
the
like him.
land ignite. In the year
Oh
860,
my gosh.
the Imperial army will march upon Rosaria. And from the
Okay.
slaughter shall a new shadow rise.
Ifrit.
To fall upon the dominants, painting their destinies black as night.
Yo.
Our ability to summon beasts of great might should command respect, but instead has left us outcasts.
Titan.
I became their puppet. What makes them think they have the right to use us? To leave us to die when our bodies are spent?
I'll crush him! Flame!
Oh my gosh. Yo. Yo. Eroga, I know that. Oh, the icon of fire.
It is you who shall bow to me!
Very well. Come then. Show us the strength.
No,
of
not
your
Clive.
will.
Rise, ye crownless kings, a reckoning is upon you. A war of the icons.
Ooh. Oh, man. Summer next year. Okay. Oh man. Okay. before we just jump in talking about all of that, I'm going to watch that one more time. I want to take that in. I want to take that in as much as I can, and we will talk about it. So when we come back, we're going to talk about that. So yeah. Before we actually jump into this discussion, let me know, how did you like this trailer? I want to know what you thought about this trailer. I want to know how excited you are for Final Fantasy XVI. Go ahead and click that subscribe button, like the video, and if you haven't already, click the notification bell as well. I'm going to be a lot more active on YouTube, so I want you to be notified whenever I upload. So without further ado, let's get into this discussion. So I am incredibly excited to play this game. Final Fantasy XVI has been one of my most anticipated games of all time since it was announced, when they first unveiled the PlayStation 5, which I still don't even have. I don't know how I'm going to play this game. But, since this game was announced, I have just been so in love with the direction that they are going as far as the themes go, as far as the even just like the color choices, just the bleakness and the dark aspects of it. I'm someone who just enjoys like a good grim, dark story. Man, this is checking a lot of boxes for me in so many areas. We saw a lot in this trailer. Realistically, this is the kind of trailer that I hope for. Anytime that a game, like a story-driven kind of game like Final Fantasy is coming out, anytime that there is a trailer that they're going to show off, of course I want to see the gameplay, but realistically, this is the kind of trailer that I'm always hoping that we get. Something that is going to show us the world, something that is really going to show us the characters, the story, a lot of themes, a lot of this like dark aspect that we like. They're not really holding back with what kind of game this is going to be. I mentioned in the reaction that I played a lot of I played Octopath, but I played a lot of Triangle Strategy recently, and this direction that Square has decided to go, where they're going back to this medieval, political, religious, environment, taking, a lot of people are comparing it to something like Game of Thrones, which I think is fair. Game of Thrones is dark. Game of Thrones is very political and war and religious, driven, or religiously driven. So, there's a lot, of comparisons that can be made there. But man, this trailer on its own was so fantastic. Right off the bat, we get so many of these beautiful shots of all of these locations that we're going to be seeing in this world. We get like these really far, way back views, and we see the whole landscape of these cities and the iconography and all the mountains and the formations around them. I'm blanking on the name, but that one, I guess, country or city where they have everyone's wearing like white and blue. They have that castle that is like a slope, like a mountain, and they have that like glacier behind it. It's so beautiful. Even the desert area that they showed off as well, like it's all looking so fantastic. And just talking about visuals for a sec, as far as the graphics go, it seems like they are really, really paying attention to detail here. One thing that I've seen a lot of people complain about in a lot of fantasy movies, games, TV shows, all that sort of stuff, I actually don't really see it too often. It's kind of in very niche audiences that I see this type of discourse. But the sort of realism of, they don't have AC, they don't have air conditioning in these places. And whenever we see that desert area and we see the guy sitting on the throne in there, he's just got so much sweat all over him. I mean, that could just be the context of the scene. Maybe there's a really heated conversation going on, but for the most part, just seeing like the sweat droplets on all these people, it is just that much more detail put into the world of this game that makes me feel like I'm gonna be there. Whenever I'm playing this game, I'm gonna be there in this world. And oh my gosh, like I am so excited to play a brand new Final Fantasy game that is focusing heavily on crystals, focusing heavily on the summons or the icons as they're called in this game, focusing heavily just on that medieval setting. Final Fantasy IX is my favorite Final Fantasy of all time, and a lot of that has to do with just, the characters and the setting. I don't know how well those characters would do if the setting was anything but a medieval type fantasy setting. So I'm incredibly excited to see the series go back to be a medieval type Final Fantasy. Man, there's a lot that I could be comparing to Final Fantasy 15, but it seems like Square is going into a transition period where it seems like they don't even really want to compare their games to their old games. Like, sure, they like to reference and things like that, but it almost seems unfair to compare it at this point to something like Final Fantasy 15 or Final Fantasy 14, even though it's Creative Business Unit 3. But these games they're all going their wildly different directions as far as gameplay goes. I would honestly say, so the gameplay is cool. I liked what I saw as far as the gameplay goes. I would say I'm intrigued. I'm a little confused. I don't know fully what the gameplay is supposed to be. But what I've seen, it looks really good. I mean, it just looks amazing. I mean, I don't really understand, who are we going to be playing as? I mean, I guess Clive, from what we've seen in trailers and promotional stuff, Clive is our main character, but we see lots of gameplay where we are playing as, these summons, these icons, fighting against other icons, and I'm very curious to see how that's all going to play out. Of course, we do see some hand-to-hand combat. We see, plenty of gameplay where we get Clive facing off against another adversary of some sort. I don't even know what to call these guys yet, but it's looking really interesting. The only thing that I'm just a little concerned about, and maybe I don't even need to be concerned about this. To be fair, they've given us a lot of gameplay that shows combat and battles. That's what they're really trying to focus in on. The battle system has changed. It's not like 14. It's not like 15. It's not like 15. It's not like any of the turn-based stuff. I'm pretty sure in this game we've got the programmer or the gameplay designer from Devil May Cry jumping into the mix. So that is going to be really interesting. The thing that I'm most curious about and a little concerned about at this point is what is exploration gonna look like? Are we gonna is it gonna be open world? Maybe this is stuff that has already been said through interviews and stuff like that, but I'm really excited to go into this game hopefully as blind as I can whenever it comes out. Obviously, watching a trailer isn't going to help me going in blind, but I haven't really been reading many developer interviews talking about the game, so I'm curious to see what exploration is going to look like, what the world map, if we have one, will look like. Are we going to be able to travel via chocobo? Are we going to travel via airship or boat or canoe, whatever? I mean, it seems like they're really harkening back to a lot of old school Final Fantasy stuff, so maybe we'll get all of that. I'm not sure. All I know is that so far we haven't really seen any exploration at all. That's the only thing that I'm curious about. As far as just the setting and the story goes, I'm so excited to see all of it, though. I guess as far as, with my concerns with the gameplay and the story, it almost feels a little like they may be going the route of Final Fantasy Tactics, where there's a lot of story and we just play we just do battles in between story content. That's kind of how Triangle Strategy is as well, and I know a lot of people have heavily criticized aspects of Triangle Strategy for being maybe a little bit too story heavy and not enough gameplay in the mix. I don't think that that's what we're going to be seeing here with Final Fantasy XVI, but with everything that we've seen so far, as far as I'm concerned, we're just doing battles as far as everything that they've shown us, with the gameplay and all that. And, we've got ample amounts of story now to unpack. And I'm really excited to continue unpacking everything that we got as far as story goes. But yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic and confused, really. But anyways, I'm really curious to see what you guys thought about this trailer. I want to have a good discussion with people. I want to talk about this game with all of you in the comments. If this is a game that you're looking forward to, please let me know. And as always, I will see you in the next video.